Following is a screencast about the Julius Caesar projects that you will either do in a group or you will do individually. They are due on March the 25th, and as you can see, they are worth 200 points total, which is about 2/3 of a paper. All right, so first off, there are several options, and you can follow along with the sheet that is on Blackboard. A board game, which is for 1 or 2 students. You will create a board game that has the following: a board that has at least 4 handmade pieces and either a homemade spinner or die. The board should include color in specific places from the play, so as we begin to see different places like Brutus's house or the Senate or the fields of Philippi, you might utilize those on your board game. 2 sets of cards that have different purposes for the game, such as action cards or special cards. The language for one set of cards will be written in blank verse, that unrhymed iambic pentameter. The second set of cards must be written in rhymed couplets, which are still in iambic pentameter, but aren't blank verse because the last words of each line rhyme. You should have a set of 2 sets with a minimum of 15 cards. Instructions on how to play the game, and these should also be written in blank verse, and a container box that holds the board, the cards, pieces, and should be decorated in the style of the game. And any instructions or commands should be written in blank verse or rhymed couplets as well. So here are some examples of a game boards, game boxes, a game board. Here are some creative pieces, some soldiers with their shields and swords, a handmade die, and of course Cassius and Mark Antony. And then here we have: first choose a game piece for everybody, and then place it on the spot that says start. Roll the dice to see who will begin first, and then the turn will proceed to the right. You can hear 10 syllables apiece. Not all the words are in the right place. Begin is in the wrong place for iambic pentameter, but I won't be looking so super close to this. I want to see that you're getting at least an idea of what Shakespeare went through when he wrote his plays. You can see here is some creative action cards, and if you flip them over, Caesar shall live on, but you go back one. It is too bad that he never had a son. A good try at that, and it is a rhymed couplet. Why does Brutus think they should kill Caesar? All right, another one that's written in 10 syllables and tries to give that iambic rhythm, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So those are examples of cards and whatnot. The second one is a graphic novel or a possible comic book. Now this is a little larger, so one person could do it, but it's probably more of a 2 or a 3-person one. Create an updated graphic novel comic book version of the play that includes 5 acts. Each act should have at least 2 scenes that cover all the major action of the act. The update should involve a modern character. So you're not doing Julius Caesar, but maybe you're doing a character like, Beyonce is, or Kanye is Caesar. Think about TV characters, just anything that might be able to fit and be analogous to that. The novel or book should be written in blank verse. Any characters that are commoners may be written in prose, and we'll see how that works as we go through this unit. Needs one example of a rhymed couplet, still in iambic pentameter, and include a minimum of 10 slides per scene, which means that the entire book or novel is going to have 100 different comic slides. A lot of work, which is why maybe 2 or 3 people do it. I don't have this done very often, but when it is done, it's either really good or it's really, really bad. So that is that. And it should be colorful and creative. Have fun with it. This is the most popular. It's for the people that want to work alone. A newspaper, front page. Include an actual size front page of a newspaper. So big, it's not just a sheet of paper, 8 by 11. Includes the following: at least 6 articles that cover 6 separate major events that occur in the play. Each article should be written in blank verse with at least one example of a rhymed couplet, which is still going to be in iambic pentameter. So each article should be at least 14 lines, which is the length of a Shakespearean sonnet, though they can be longer. And each article should include a color drawing connected to the article. Nothing copy or pasted from the internet. and a byline. So it should have the name of the author of the piece. And you can use your name by blah, 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 or, by Catus Marconius, whatever. And the newspaper should have its own original name that connects to the play. Here's an example. This is one that was done a long time ago. But you'll see it is rolled up as a scroll, but you can unscroll it. It's the Roman Citizen, and it has these different articles, 6 different articles. Each article has its own color drawing. Took a little time to do those, not 10 seconds, but not like 20 minutes each. And then here is Caesar's arrival. Romans walked the streets in celebration. Morales and Flavia scolded them. The tribune slowly turned men against men. They thought Caesar beneath kingly power. Caesar comes in triumph over Pompey. Soothsayer warns he will die soon one day. And so on and so forth. And then we have, of course, a picture down here. And we have a byline of our writer. But 14 lines. Each line is 10 syllables. And we have Pompey and one day, kind of them and men, a try at a rhymed couplet, but an attempt, and would have 6 articles, and each article would be 14 lines and have its own picture, and it'd be about a different thing that happened in the play. Now we have an album for all you rockers out there. Write an album and record an album that includes the following: 5 songs. Each song should be at least be about or summarize one major event from the play. So it's shorter than the newspaper, but it's more people. A song about Cassius trying to convince Brutus to join the conspiracy. Each song needs to have lyrics that are at least 14 lines long, the length of a sonnet. The lyrics must be written in blank verse, with each song containing at least one example of a rhymed couplet, which is 2 words of iambic pentameter, 2 lines that rhyme, that have end rhyme. Copies of the lyrics should be turned in to me with the final recordings. I need the copies of the lyrics. Each member must perform, and performing, an instrument. It could be a guitar, maybe it's a pot and pan. I don't know. You guys get to decide. Some people are good at recording beats, utilizing the stuff that you have here on the computer, and the album must be recorded to a CD or a thumb drive and then turned into Mr. Zavos. Here's an example of a song that has lyrics and whatnot, and I actually put the words in here so you could kind of see how the words go. So, do I have it? Is it starting? Is it starting? Oh, let's go back. Boom. And here we go. So this is an example. And you can see that each of these lines is unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed. I tried to make it so that, you see that the word Caesar is in the right place, so the stress is in the right place. So it's cut in the middle of a foot in between feet. So that's an example of this. And for those of you that are musicians or want to try that, have fun. Now a news broadcast, 2 to 3 students. Very much like the newspaper, except it's going to be video recording. 6 stories, 6 different events. Each story written in blank verse with at least one example of a rhymed couplet. Each news story should be at least 14 lines the length of a sonnet, though they can be longer. Each article member of a group should appear and read on camera. But be creative. Perhaps you include like a weather or sports section for your show. You'll see where we actually have a chance for a weather broadcast, and there might be a sports section as well. Have fun with it. Newscasters should dress and present themselves as professional newscasters, either of our era or of Caesar's. Don't be in a t-shirt, but you might be in a toga. And the script of the newscast has to be turned into me because I have to be able to see how the language is used. Here's an example of some of them I put together. Here's one from a couple years ago that you might notice some people in here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go in here. Dun, dun, dun.
Good morning, citizens of Mr. Zavas' class. Today is the 21st of April. We have a lot coming for you on this broadcast, so get excited. For starters, we'll talk about
he's so serious. Have you ever seen him so serious in your life? But you can see had, they use KLHS, and you can, but you don't necessarily have to. You can utilize, look at that handsome senior right there.
I guess I was just in the moment.
But you can see that they created it. It's about, 3.5, 4 minutes long. But what you want to do is, of course, create it. You can create this using your computer at home. All you need is a desk, some lighting, and a script. But if you want to use KLHS, just check with the KLHS folks, check with Mrs. Bertoldi, and see if you can do it. Lastly, is a movie, which is for 3 students. And 3 students, but although you can get other people to help you, but this is going to be huge. You're going to create a film, an updated version of the play that includes the following. The script for the play should cover one and only one of the 5 acts from the play. You don't have to use the entire play. And include all scenes from that act. So it's a little bit more, but you've got 3 people working on it, at least. The script needs to be written in blank verse. So you're not using Shakespeare's. You're actually going to write it. Maybe you're going to modernize it. So you're using modern 21st century language, but you're going to write it in blank verse. Any characters that are commoners, of course, may be written in prose, and we will see how Shakespeare does this. You need to have some rhymed couplets in each of your different scenes within the act, so that you're showing me that you can do that. The update should involve a modern character. I had a fight between Beyonce Brutus and Kanye Caesar at one point in time a couple of years ago. So people modernized it in many ways. I'm going to show you an example of someone that has used the movie Office Space. The film should be the entire rewritten act. Each member of the group should have at least 20 lines in the film. And you can include people outside of the group to help with the filming. The film should include costumes and props of some kind. It might just be people changing hats to signify that they're a different person. But you're going to be creative and having fun with this. Lines should be memorized. If you're holding a piece of paper in front of you and reading from it, it's not Reader's Theater. But you can, be creative in that. You can film different sections from different angles so that you don't have to memorize a huge swath. You can memorize a little bit and then change the, you'll be creative. You will figure this out. And the script of the movie, including all stage directions, must be turned in with the final film. So just to showcase an example of this, this was from a couple of years ago, some seniors from last year. So it looks like 3 years ago. Julius Caesar. They misspelled Caesar, but that's okay. But this is an example of Office Space. Come in. This is actually Act 2.
The singer?
Into.
No, it's just a coincidence.
Oh, well, are you related to him?
I love Michael Bolton. It's only a coincidence, I swear.
No matter. Come inside and speak with me. Door's open.
Oh my goodness. Let's go back. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Boom. Go back. Here we are.
It feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster type.
It does feel good to be a gangster. From Current Slide. Here we go. Boom.
It feels good to be a
I can't tell you.
But you can see, they cut it up quite a bit. You actually have the Caesar character is played by, if you've seen the movie Office Space, the fax machine. And so they tried to be as close to the idea of the movie of Office Space as possible as they film this to kind of have fun with it. No, I'm going to need you to clean out the rats here in Rome. You can be rat guy. And so, of course, even the lines of the are written in blank verse. But they even have, of course, the killing of Caesar. The killing of Caesar, the fax machine. Just as they destroyed the fax machine in the movie Office Space. So, which I thought was very funny and very creative. And here's the leg kick. Oh, yes! Wonderful. So, again, have fun with this. It's an opportunity for you to use blank verse, to write in blank verse, and to work with your friends and create something that's never existed before based on the play Julius Caesar.